Hi everyone, I am Monica Lorenz V Songuad from CEIT Share 3201P, and I'm a first year college student starting my journey in programming. Even without prior experience, I choose this course to build my skills and work toward becoming a professional in the field someday. Welcome to my e-portfolio. In this video, I'll be walking you through my learning journey from the fundamentals to the more advanced part like object-oriented programming. Each chapter challenged me in different ways, but they also helped me grow both as a student and a future programmer. So let's get started. First one is the course preliminary. In this first part of the course, I gained a clear understanding of what we will be learning throughout the semester and what is expected from us as students. Our professor, Mrs. Belinda Bunag, warmly welcomed us and gave a clear introduction to the course, outlining the challenges we may face and emphasizing the importance of practice and self-learning. She also shared the course syllabus, which helped me to see the structure and flow of the topics we will cover. Through our initial face-to-face and online meetings, I realized that succeeding in this subject will require a consistent effort and the willingness to grow both independently and collaboratively. Now let's have the chapter 1, Basic Concept. In this part of the course, we were introduced to the basic concepts of Java programming. I honestly enjoyed this section because our professor explained the lesson in a way that matched our level of understanding. As someone who considered themselves a slow learner, I really appreciate how she made the topic easier to grasp, especially when discussing the history and fundamentals of Java. What stood out to me the most was her use of real-life example, which made the lesson more relatable and easier to understand. This approach of her helped me stay engaged and build a solid foundation in Java programming. This part of the course also marked the first time we worked on an activity as a group. We were introduced to the UML, or the Unified Modeling Language, which is an important tool used in planning and designing object-oriented programs. For our first task, we created a UML diagram based on the topic we selected, which was in our group is footwear. Through this activity, I learned how UML helps in visualizing the structure of a program, including the relationship between classes, attributes, and methods. It gave me a better understanding of how to plan code effectively before actually writing it, which is a valuable skill in programming. Working in a group also gave me a chance to collaborate with my classmates and apply what we learn in a practical way and a creative way. Aside from the group activity, we also had individual learning through an activity called Practice Task. In this task, we explored the most basic part of Java programming, such as displaying output on the screen using a simple print statements. Now let's go with the chapter 2, Identifier and Constant. In this part of the course, we explored the use of identifiers and constants in Java, which are essential in writing clear and effective code. We were given multiple coding activities that help us understand how to properly name variables, use constants, and follow Java's naming conventions. This task trained us to write more organized and readable programs. However, this chapter was also a challenging moment for me because I received a score of 0 on one of the activities because my output was similar to some of my blockmates, even though I had no interactions with them. As a slow learner who is trying to improve step by step, it was a frustrating and discouraging experience for me. I realized that simply following instruction without applying my own creativity made my work look too similar to others. But despite that, I took it as a valuable lesson. The experience made me realize how important it is to add my own unique approach and style to my work even when following instructions. I didn't intend for my output to resemble others, but I understand now that simply sticking too closely to the basic direction can make the result look alike. Since then, I've been more mindful and creative when writing my code, making sure I fully understand the logic and apply it in a way that reflects my own thinking. Although it was a tough experience, it motivated me to grow and do better in the next activities. Let's have chapter 3, Input and Output Statements. In this part of the course, we learn how to handle inputs and outputs in Java, which is essential for creating interactive programs. I was introduced to different ways of getting input from the users and displaying output on the screen using tools like scanner and system out that print LN. These concepts helped me understand how to make a program that can interact with the users in real time. While practicing, I encountered several errors, especially when working with user input and handling different data types. Although it was frustrating at the times, these mistakes actually helped me to learn more. I realized that trial and error is part of the process in programming, and each error taught me something new. This part of the course challenged me, but it also gave me the confidence to explore and test code on my own. Though my scores in this chapter were low despite trying to code based on my own understanding, I took it as a lesson to keep learning and improving. For me, even small progress is still progress. I believe that this experience, no matter how challenging, will help me grow and become a better programmer. Now we're on to chapter 4, Control Structures. In this chapter, we explored one of the most important parts of programming, the control structures. This includes conditional statement and loops. I clearly remember learning about if, else if, and else conditions, which brought back memories from senior high school when I created a blood type detector project using the if-else logic. It was nostalgic and exciting to revisit this concept with a deeper understanding. We also learned about the switch case statement, which offers a cleaner and more organized way to handle multiple conditions compared to long if-else chains. Understanding how and when to use switch case gave me more option in solving problems and writing more readable code. This part of the course was both challenging and informative. We were given several hands-on activities that helped strengthen our logic building and problem-solving skills. One of the most difficult but essential topics for me was loops, especially when it came to using for and while loops to form shapes or repeat processes. I often made mistakes in syntax and logic, but through continuous practice and help of my classmates, I gradually improved. To support my learning even more, I explored resources outside the classroom. I started using Codedex, which is a website that teaches Java in an interactive way to practice additional problems and apply what I learned in class. This helped me build more confidence and deepen my understanding of control structures. Overall, this chapter laid down a strong foundation for writing dynamic and functional programs. Selection structure. In this activity, I applied what I learned about selection structures by creating a program that handles different conditions. I received a score of 75 and my professor gave me helpful feedbacks pointing out that I could have grouped all the months that falls under the winter season to make my code shorter and more efficient. It was a valuable insight that taught me the importance of writing clean and optimized code. Even though I made some mistakes, I am still happy with what I learned and proud of the progress I've made. Looping was one of the most challenging topics for me in this course. I struggled with understanding how to properly use for, while, and do while loops, especially when creating patterns or shapes. Despite finding it difficult at first, I put in extra effort to understand the logic behind the loops. I took my time, practiced a lot, and asked for help when I needed it. Slowly, I began to understand how loops work and how powerful they are in making tasks more efficient. Completing the activities may have been tough, but it helped me build more confidence and improve my problem-solving skills in programming. Let's have the last chapter. Chapter 5. Analyzing Problem Using OOP or Object-Oriented Programming. This final chapter of the course was the most challenging for me. The lessons were complex and the activities required deeper level of understanding and problem solving. In this part, we focus on applying object-oriented analysis where I learned how to create classes and understand how they interact with one another. The highlight of this chapter was when we were tasked to build two major projects, an elevator simulation and an order form system. Both required us to design and implement multiple classes, complete with attributes and methods that work together to form a functioning program. This project pushes me to think critically, apply everything we had learned throughout the course, and understand how object-oriented programming works in real-world scenarios. Aside from the main activities, I also challenged myself by creating a practice code about a car company that provides a car details and specifications. This helped me explore how to organize data into separate classes and make the program more realistic and functional. Even though the topics were difficult in this chapter, completing these activities gave me a huge sense of accomplishment. It showed me how far I'd come and gave me a better appreciation of Java as a programming language. To sum it all up, this course has truly been a journey filled with challenges, learning, and growth. I faced a lot of difficult moments, especially with the topics like looping and object-oriented programming, but I kept trying, kept practicing, and slowly built up my confidence. Each lesson, activity, and project has helped me shape the way I understand programming and pushed me to keep on improving. I also want to take this moment to sincerely thank my professor for being patient, supportive, and always willing to guide us, especially during the times when I felt confused or left behind. Your teaching style, encouragement, and feedback made a big difference for me. And I truly appreciate the effort you put into every time you are helping us, every time you put an effort on teaching the subject itself. This course had taught me more than just Java. It taught me how to be persistent, how to learn from failure, and how to believe in my own progress, no matter how slow it may be. And now I'm proud of how far I've come, and I'm excited to keep growing as a future programmer. Thank you for watching my e-portfolio. Bye-bye!